and I think, he's going to be successful in his comeback, and I picked him to win.
Many people were surprised by Terence Crawford's reaction after seeing Errol Spence Jr. looking in incredible condition before the Tszyu fight.
Obviously, a few things before I do let you go. Errol Spence is returning against Tszyu. Just wanted your thoughts on the return of Errol.
I think Errol going to do an amazing job. I'm looking forward to him getting back.
Terence Crawford explained that he has always had respect for Spence and admired the path he took from amateur boxing to becoming one of the sport's top names.
I'm a Spence fan.
No,
like when the build up, I'm like, man, hey, let me get your autograph. You know what I mean? Because I watched you come up. I'm older than you, but I watched you, rooted for you when you was in the amateurs, when you was in the Olympics.
Because of that respect, a lot of fans were shocked to hear Crawford speak so positively about Spence, while attention remains on Errol's comeback, his improved shape, and the expectations surrounding his return.
I was a fan of Spence. Like, I'm still a fan. I hope he do well. And he beat Kell Brook coming off of a loss, an eye injury. He beat Sean Porter.
In all fairness, he had to go over there to get that.
Like I said, that's
Errol Spence appeared completely focused as he punished the heavy bag while preparing for his much-awaited battle against Tszyu. Before the major welterweight showdown, Errol gave supporters a detailed glimpse into his training through a serious and energetic media workout session. Opinions remain divided on Errol's comeback. However, respected trainer Boxonx Ennis sent a strong message to critics before the Tszyu fight, reminding fans not to overlook what Spence can still do inside the ring.
Good fight, man. Everybody just sleeping on my man Spence, man. I think Spence gonna do what he's supposed to do, man. And then he fighting a guy that can really fight. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that, he's a good boxer, nothing, but he comes to fight. You know what I mean? So this is going to be a good test for Spence, I think. What Spence should be doing, Spence should be Spence, man. But he must move his head, though. Because Spence should come right at you and just throw them punches. You got to, and work on catching them shots. You know what I mean? If you ain't going to move your head, you got to catch some shots. You know what I mean? With your hands,
Decision to stoppage. How's that fight at?
I think it's going to be a stoppage. Somebody getting stopped. And
the WBC and IBF champion Spence Jr. has shown a noticeably leaner physique, proving the hard work and dedication behind his training camp as he gets ready for his next contest. The physical change highlights his commitment to preparation and suggests he is reaching top form before his long-awaited return. It further reflects his championship mindset. On the Porterway podcast, the group discussed the expected clash between Errol Spence Jr. and Tszyu, examining each boxer's strengths, current form, and tactical edges, while debating who has the better chance to win and sharing different views on how the contest may develop in the ring.
Main problem for Tszyu against Errol is going to be that jab. What does he do against that busy constant jab.
About, Errol with
on Errol's
jab,
side.
right?
Yeah, Errol just keeping that jab in his face.
Yeah.
When Bomac prepared for Terence, he said that's the number one thing we got to take away from him. He fights off his jab. He gets confidence off his jab. He builds off his jab. He dominates you off the jab. So take the jab away, and we got the fight won.
Right.
Tim Tszyu is not Terence Crawford. So I don't know how he deals with that jab. Again, I think Errol's bigger than him. He's at his best busier than him. But Robert Garcia said today he thinks Errol won't have anything left by the time they do make that fight.
He's really like one of those master kung fu artists, but in boxing. You know what I mean? So he's a masterful boxer. You know?
Yeah.
And so those are the kind of things that we're looking at Tim Tszyu that doesn't.
Now let's check out Tszyu's training camp, which reveals how committed he is to getting ready for his upcoming fight. He is completing demanding runs, practicing detailed boxing drills, and refining his skills little by little. His schedule is carefully organized, allowing him to improve conditioning, sharpen technique, and fully prepare for the challenge ahead.
B. Aquí, same point, okay? That's the side. No move the leg, no. You look in front, B, right?
Oh, yeah. I was just thinking.
During a recent podcast episode, Sean Porter analyzed the interaction between Errol and Tim, suggesting that Spence may have crossed a line by increasing the intensity in a way he should not have, and ultimately sided with Tszyu to win the fight.
Segment of the audience thinking that on fight night against Terence Crawford. So I'm questioning that kind of stuff. And what I took from their interactions together is Spence, we all have a button, Sean, right? Like we all have this one button, if you press it, that we're very sensitive to, a certain topic or something about our character that we've been through. And he pressed Tszyu's button when he said, you're trying to fight to get out of your daddy's shadow and you're not the caliber of your dad. And that really pissed Tim Tszyu off and made him say, you know, I was just trying to give you a handshake and a hug because this is really the last fight of your career, but you know, basically to hell with it now. Right. And you know, I think Spence is the bigger guy, but I'm leaning towards Tim Tszyu to win this fight. And again, I said it when we had Rahman on, I think he's the sharper puncher at this stage of their careers. I saw Spence getting off balance a lot in the Crawford fight, and yeah, he's fighting probably the best fighter of this generation in Terence Crawford. That'll do it sometimes, but I also just saw a fighter whose balance wasn't good on the punch.
Anthony Briney, speaking on the podcast, pointed to Errol Spence Jr.'s plan to enter Tszyu's home country of Australia and said he believes Spence possesses the ability to defeat him.
Think that classic Errol Spence wanting to go over to Australia to beat Tim in his own land, his own city, you know, in Australia, his country, whatever the case may be, is one would refer to that as being ballsy, but it's Errol Spence. That's just who he is, you know. I'm inclined to believe that Errol Spence beats.
After the comments made by Errol Spence Jr., fresh videos of Tim Tszyu training with great intensity have appeared across social media. clips show him fully focused on preparation, putting in serious work at the gym while improving both his technique and concentration. He looks eager to answer the challenge and prove himself once they finally step into the ring together. In this exclusive training video, Tszyu can be seen completing demanding workouts and tactical exercises, demonstrating his unwavering commitment.
In life, you get hit, but nothing will ever stop me. It's not about how many times you fall, but how many times you can rise back up. My mission always remains the same: to be the greatest boxing family that ever lived. Each and every day, we focus on the 1%, the 1% that makes you unbreakable, unstoppable, victorious.
Bernie Tha Boxer examines Errol Spence Jr.'s comeback following a lengthy absence as he gets set for a major fight against Tszyu in Australia. He discusses how the fighters compare, possible outcomes of the matchup, and the key coaching adjustments influencing their preparation for this important event.
Opponent for him, Tszyu has obviously, lost some steam, but he still got a good name and, really mostly about his name. I don't know about his ability at this point, but, with a guy like Errol Spence that's come off such a dramatic defeat and a couple years layoff, almost 3 years, it'll be, wow, time flies. I think it's a good opponent.
According to Mikey Garcia, fighting in an opponent's home country always creates added pressure, excitement, and support for the local fighter, especially when facing someone as determined and aggressive as Tim. He suggested that the crowd, atmosphere, and travel demands could make this one of the toughest tests of Spence's career.
What, 2 years?
Since we brought for fight, yeah.
3 years, maybe 2 years. That's a good fight for him to come back because Tszyu is also not at his prime anymore. He's been hurt, he's been knocked out. So that's actually a pretty good matchup for a return. It's also a good matchup for Tim. If he beats Errol Spence,
big name,
he gets another shot at something bigger. So that's a good matchup for both, actually. But he's going to Australia, so that's a little iffy there.
No, plus when you travel that far, it takes a long time to adjust to the weather, the food, the time. Yeah,
I could do this is a little tricky, but matchup wise,